him back in, and there you go. You see what I'm talking. Huh. That's cool. Another thing that just fell apart. You can just.
You have no idea what you just started. Let's just say that things are out of hand. How's it going, guys? It is Plastic Disasta, and it's been a while since I've done a Transformers review. I mean, who do you guys think I am? Do you think I just review Gundam models only? Okay, all jokes aside. Now today, we are going to take a look at the Deluxe class Wheeljack from the Transformers War for Cybertron Kingdom line. I know it says Kingdom, but this is actually a re-release from the Earthrise line, which is a predecessor to the Kingdom line. Now, if you've seen the clips I borrowed from my buddy TFG's video, his Wheeljack has some quality control issues. Maybe because something is going on business-wise, or maybe material-wise. I don't know, educate me in the comments down below. And as a cherry on top, that figure was released during the 2020 pandemic. And how does the Kingdom Wheeljack stand up to it? Well, we'll find out later on the review. And as a backstory of this Autobot, well, he's a scientist. That's all you need to know. Alright, so let's get the card and the figure out of the way, and let's take a look at the packaging. Taking a look at the front of the packaging, we see Wheeljack in the robot mode and the vehicle mode, and you see what line this Transformer is from and what class he is in. And in the back of the box, you can see he can turn to robot mode to vehicle mode in 19 steps. This side of the box, we see a cool line art of the Transformers Kingdom line. The packaging out of the way, let's move on to the figure and the card. So in case you didn't know, every Kingdom figure comes with a card. I don't know if yours may be different from mine or yours is the same, but it differs. So if you peel it off, looks like we got the Autobot arc that crashed into the mountain or volcano. And in case you haven't noticed, there are character cards, and if you peel off, it shows the character's fate. Okay, now that the card is done, let's look at the one we care about the most, the figure. Taking a look at the Wheeljack, for the sculpting, it looks really great. I love the G1 aesthetics they went for on the Kingdom line. Taking a look at the back of Wheeljack right now, you can see that he doesn't have much kibble, but I prefer like this part of the backpack would be just squeezing just a little more. Though I do appreciate the G1 aesthetics, I think I might find this figure a bit too stocky for my taste. So I think I find the hand covers a bit too large. Like, look at the hand and the hand cover ratio. Like, you have a small hand right here and a huge hand cover right over there. And you also have some hollowness in the thigh, but if you look closely, there is some nice piston detail. Alright, so that's enough about me talking about the proportions and the sculpting. Maybe it's just me being all nitpicky. As for painting, I gotta say, it is really nice. I especially love what they did when they paint the legs, the black, the green, and the red, and even the little decals or decals. And also, the chest area is really well done. But from a distance, it looks fine. But if you look really closely, I think there are tiny bits of paint chipping. It's not really bad. Moving on to the head, it is well painted, but I wish the eyes could be just a bit brighter. Alright, and as for accessories, well, you're looking at it. It's right up here. And here you have his, I guess, gun, maybe little missile launcher. You can either have him pull it on his hand, mount it on the wrist, or maybe put it on this shoulder. And also, notice how this handle is white. Well, it is in white plastic, but they painted this part in metallic dark gray. So I don't know what this one's for. If you guys know, comment down below. I do prefer mounting it on the shoulder, well, this part of the shoulder, by using this peg. And get this, I've been putting this on the shoulder like so many times, and the paint has not chipped yet. That is amazing. That's about it for accessories. I know it's a little disappointing if you expect more. Maybe if you pull out one of the spoiler piece and put it on his hand so it could be like a little punching thing. I don't know. I'm just stretching out some ideas. Then moving on to articulation, the head is on a ball joint. The shoulder can rotate, bicep swivel, bend at the elbow 90 degrees, wrist rotation, waist swivel. The leg can kick up this far, move back that far, can do the full splits, thigh swivel, bend at the knee 90 degrees, and for the pivot it can go about this far, and that is amazing. So the foot can go down, but that's part of the transformation, and it can go up ever so slightly. Well, the articulation is what I expect, and no, that does not mean it's bad. Besides comparisons, here he is right next to Optimus Prime and Bumblebee. And I guess Prime is a little too tall. There he is. As for the scaling of these figures, I gotta say it's pretty much spot on. And finally, here he is right next to Godzilla and the 1/144 scale of the Gundam. Alright, so that's about it for the size comparisons. You've seen Wheeljack the robot mode, and let's turn him into the vehicle mode. Hey guys, if you've seen TFG's Wheeljack review, the problem for his quality control issue is that this part falls off, and as for mine, it's still good. You're gonna do the same thing for the other leg. Okay, another thing I want to point out in TFG's video, this part of the window falls off easily. Mine is still intact. And you're going to do the same thing on the other arm. And here is Wheeljack in his vehicle mode. I have to say, transforming him was actually pretty easy. And as for quality controls, well, what quality controls? My Wheeljack figure is still fine. If I had to pick out one thing, is the spoilers. Mine is not lining up properly. Maybe I had to do a little bit of sanding. Other than that, the vehicle mode is nice and clean. I mean, have you guys seen the Netflix figure of this one? It's not the best looking. Probably because they put the weathering on the figure. And there's also no bits of robot kibble sticking out. Well, unless you flip it under. I mean, at least they try to cover the face, I guess. Am I kidding? Everything else is nice and compact. As comparisons, here he is right next to Sideswipe and Slug. Okay, so I know I had to adjust the camera for this one, and as for the scaling, well, I guess it's pretty convincing with Sideswipe and Wheeljack. And as for Slug, well, it makes sense because Dinobots are big. The problem is, this little guy right here makes the scaling off a bit. No, not just a bit, way off. And finally, here he is right next to 1/144 scale Gundam and Godzilla. So that's about it for the size comparisons. Let's turn him back into robot mode for my final thoughts. So for my final thoughts, besides all the nitpicking I said, overall, it's still a pretty good figure. Now, before you guys say something in the comments below, I am very aware that there is a studio series, Wheeljack, from the Bumblebee movie. That figure actually looks pretty sick. Anyways, going back to the Kingdom Wheeljack, or Earthrise, whatever you want to say. If you guys like the modern version of the G1 Transformers figures, I say pick this figure up. And I wish this figure would come with like another accessories, probably like a gun or something, or maybe a wrench because he's a scientist. I don't know, something. Because what you see is what you get, and if you're okay with it, pick this figure up. And once again, the quality control on my copy is actually really fine. It could last for a long while. So sorry I had to call you out there, TFG. Also, subscribe to my buddy. Also, keep in mind, this is all just for fun. Okay, well, that's about it for the review. If you guys made it this far, thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more content like this, be sure to subscribe. Questions, comments, you know what to do. And leave a like as well, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Hey guys, you want to know what's funny? In the upcoming Transformers Rise of the Beast movie, Wheeljack transforms into a Volkswagen. I don't know who came up with this idea, but as long as it looks cool, I'm up for it.